Years of use of a man-made chemical foam to put out jet fuel fires at Cannon Air Force Base has one area dairy farmer saying it's destroying his business and harming his health.
Thanks for joining us this evening. The chemicals in question are per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, or PFAS. The chemical bond in these substances is rarely found in nature and never really breaks down or leaves our environment. PFAS have been used in industrial and consumer products since the 1950s. Among many other uses, including clothing and carpeting fabric protectors and nonstick coatings in cookware, two of these chemicals, PFAS and PFOS, were used in firefighting foam at military installations across the country since the 1970s, including at Cannon Air Force Base near Clovis. Air Force officials say only trace amounts are found in the foam now, but they acknowledge decades of use allowed those chemicals to slowly seep down into the groundwater below.
KMR Local 4's Kaylee Green has been researching this for months. She has tonight's I-Team investigation.
Art Skopp is a dairy farmer whose farm is located southeast of Cannon Air Force Base.
Me and my wife and kids, we run this operation with our employees. We've been here since 1992.
Skopp had operated Highland Dairy near Clovis for more than 25 years when he received this letter from the Air Force in October of 2018 suggesting his drinking water is contaminated. The Air Force and New Mexico Environment Department confirm over time an underwater plume of PFAS-contaminated water has reached his wells. Skopp says this has wreaked havoc on his business.
The Food Safety Inspection Service said that I could not sell my animals because of it could be adulterated beef in the food market also. So the packing houses don't want to buy my cows, the milk plants don't want to buy my milk, and for food safety reasons, we are not selling the cows or selling the milk.
In 2016, the EPA issued guidance setting the maximum amount of PFAS exposure for humans at 70 parts per trillion, but it has not yet established enforceable drinking water standards. According to Skopp and an environmental expert he hired, some wells on his land have been measured at well above the EPA guidance. Sample results given to us by the New Mexico Environment Department show one dairy supply well had more than 1,600 parts per trillion, PFOS and PFOA combined. Another nearby well closer to the Air Force Base had the highest concentration at more than 14,000 parts per trillion. That's more than 204 times the EPA standard.
So we learned in the 90s and the 2000s that making chemicals that were extremely persistent was not a good thing for our bodies or for the environment.
Dr. Linda Birnbaum, director of the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences and the National Toxicology Program, has led the charge on understanding PFAS and how they affect humans. She testified before the Senate last September on the health effects associated with human exposure to PFAS.
Everybody in the United States has PFAS in their body.
But Skopp claims blood tests show his levels are much higher than the EPA recommended exposure level.
So I have 8 times the limit in my body. Is that healthy? I don't think so. We don't know what the consequences are. We're hoping for no consequence.
But Dr. Birnbaum says there are studies that associate PFAS exposure and illnesses. She notes that actually proving the PFAS caused a particular illness is difficult.
There's evidence for kidney and testicular cancer. There's clear evidence for impacts on the immune system. There's impacts on lipids and cholesterol levels. There's some evidence for impacts on the liver as well. And there is data suggesting that there can be, showing associations with preterm birth, birth weight of babies.
Skopp's lawyers have filed a civil lawsuit in New Mexico's U.S. District Court against 7 PFAS and foam manufacturers. Skopp's attorney, Tate J. Kunkel, claims the defendants failed to properly warn the Air Force about their products.
They knew it caused health effects. The stuff's never going away. And they elected to sell it and put it in firefighting foam that they knew was going to go across the country, not just the Air Force bases, and never told one firefighter, never told anyone.
We have reached out to each company listed as defendants in Skopp's lawsuit against foam manufacturers. At this point, only 3M has responded. Their statement reads, 3M cares deeply about the safety and health of New Mexico's communities. 3M acted responsibly in connection with products containing PFAS and will vigorously defend its environmental stewardship.
Since October 30th, we've been dumping our milk because milk is very strictly regulated, and we do not want that in the food supply. We had 40 employees and 40 families. We are down to 6 employees.
Scott says unless the Food Safety Inspection Service will allow him to sell his cows, he will be forced to euthanize them.
You have it in the groundwater, to an irrigated field, or directly drank by a dairy cow, and then into the milk, which is either sold as milk or into cheese, and who knows what else, and then distributed across the country. So it's quite a long chain, but these chemicals are forever.
Kunkel says most of the blame lies with the foam manufacturers, but even though they didn't know, the Air Force shares a little responsibility as the dischargers of it. The Air Force has provided clean drinking water to those affected near Clovis since this past October, when the Air Force announced the contamination at Cannon. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham and the New Mexico congressional delegation released a joint statement in February. It reads in part, "We will pursue all available avenues to protect New Mexico's water supplies and ensure affected New Mexicans are made whole as soon as possible." A spokesman from the Air Force, Mark Kincaid, says the Air Force shares the community's concerns and is doing everything required under current federal law, which requires the Air Force to address risks caused by the presence of PFAS in drinking water. But the Air Force is focusing on the most urgent threat to ensure no one is drinking water with PFOS and PFOA concentrations above the EPA guidance by providing alternative drinking water as quickly as possible to affected residents. The Air Force is continuing to meet with the Clovis community and regulators regarding the issue. For now, people like Scott are left to fend for themselves.
The EPA has not yet set cleanup standards for PFAS. They say they will by the end of the year. But if you're dealing with PFAS contamination and you can't wait that long, there are some options. Granular activated carbon filters usually work to remove the majority of PFAS chemicals from water. You can find them online for less than $20, but several high-end filters cost hundreds, and industrial filters even more. Live in the studio, Kaylee Green, KAMR Local 4 News. Andy and Jackie.
Kaylee, thank you. Contamination near Cannon Air Force Base isn't the only problem. Our I-Team investigation continues tomorrow night on KAMR Local 4 News at 10.
Here's what we'll have. Just how widespread is PFAS contamination, and what are the EPA and the DoD doing to help those affected? We'll hear from the EPA, the Air Force, and members of Congress, plus hear from Representative Mac Thornberry, who's been dealing with this in his leadership role on the House Armed Services Committee. Head to myhighplains.com right now for more supporting documents from SCOP, the state of New Mexico, and the Air Force as well.